Hey.
Spectacular, 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 spectacular.
Hello ladies and gents, how are we doing today? I was halfway through writing a script on the amazing, spectacular Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when I realized something. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of talking about Peter Parker, I'm sick of talking about Uncle Ben, and I'm sick of talking about everyone's favorite webhead, Spider-Man. It sucks. It really sucks, not only because I love Spider-Man, but I love talking about him, and clearly you guys enjoy watching. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. I love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but I can't do another video examining and analyzing the same character. There's absolutely nothing new to say. Until Spider-Man 3 comes out, there won't be anything new. Imagine you have a friend. You love that friend. You love being with that friend. But if you're with that friend constantly, it can get stale, which is terrible, because that's how I feel about Peter Parker right now, and I hate it, considering he's one of the most relatable characters in media history for me. Getting sick of him feels like I'm sick of myself, and it feels terrible. So after I turned off my computer, absolutely frustrated, I went to go play one of my favorite games, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now I know what you're thinking, look at this loser, look at this socially inept loser who is obsessed with a fictional character that shoots webs out of his wrists, and, well, he shoots them out of web shooters, but you know, that's not important here. The point is, yes, I'm a loser and I love Spider-Man. I've accepted it. As I was playing this absolutely stunning game, I remembered something. Peter Parker is not the only Spider-Man.
And for like 2 days, I've been the one and only Spider-Man.
We have a fresh new Spider-Man right in front of us, and it's time to talk about him. Miles Morales first appeared in the comic book known as Ultimate Fallout number 4 in the year 2011. I'll be honest here, I wasn't a huge fan of Miles. It's not that I disliked the character, I was just far too attached to Peter Parker, and, well, I still clearly am. It wasn't until December 2018 that I even took a second look at this character. I went to the theater on New Year's Eve with a friend of mine. Damn, I miss theaters so much. I got some popcorn, a cherry coke, and I sat down to watch a brand new Spider-Man film. Now at this point, I was pretty bored with Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man Homecoming movie had just come out the year before, and I wasn't too happy with it. I went into this movie skeptical, believing that it was a movie for kids. I was ready for another Spider-Man film with Peter Parker and his new goofy sidekick Miles Morales. So I started watching the film. Oh, cool, there's Peter. Ah, Miles, looks like a nice character. Hey, this Uncle Aaron character looks pretty chill. I wonder if anything will happen there. Oh shit, Miles got bitten. Oh, nice, he's meeting Peter. Can't wait to see them work together. Oh, shit, Spider-Man's down. I wonder how he'll... Spider-Man is dead. From that point on, they had my attention. Only one thought was in my head. How can he be dead? It's only been 28 minutes. My mind was absolutely blown. I didn't know what to expect from this point forward. After watching Kingpin murder Peter, Miles makes noise while hiding. This causes him to flee, with Kingpin sending the Prowler after him. I was watching that highly intense chase scene completely mesmerized. I was scarfing down popcorn faster than Miles could run down the nearest boulevard. Then, that scene came along.
I'll find them. You know me, sir.
Uncle Aaron was the Prowler. At that moment, I absolutely fell in love with this movie. There was finally a Spider-Man story that was shocking, new, and fresh. Honestly, from this point forward, I didn't even need the Spider-Verse. As much as I enjoyed watching the other Spider-People and Spider-Pig, I was interested in Miles. I honestly think Miles was kind of robbed. No, I'm not saying that Into the Spider-Verse was a bad movie. In fact, it was a pretty damn great movie. But I would have honestly preferred a movie about Miles. Just Miles. But I know that wouldn't sell nearly as many tickets as a Spider-Verse movie. And that's a shame. Despite all that, Into the Spider-Verse was an incredible picture, and I'm very excited for the sequel. After watching the movie, I was heavily interested in Miles. As you may recall, a while back I made a video called Why Andrew Garfield is My Favorite Spider-Man, and, well, I don't know about that anymore. He's certainly my favorite traditional Spider-Man, meaning Peter Parker, but I think Miles may be tied for my favorite Spider-Man. Not only do I find this character utterly charming and compelling, but I also find the themes explored with this character to be extraordinary. One theme in particular caught my attention. Let's dig into it. Before we start exploring those themes, I want to take a quick moment to talk to you about the Patreon. Our hero is often described as spectacular, amazing, and the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well, you know what else is spectacular, amazing, and pretty friendly? Supporting creators on Patreon. For only $1 per month, you can support the KYD project. In return, you'll have your name in the credits of every video. If you're interested in that or the other tier, the link will be in the description below. Thank you for your consideration. Now, let's get back on topic. A few months went by and I was having a difficult time. I wasn't very confident in myself and, well, I was rather envious of my friends' social circumstances. I make video essays on YouTube. As you can imagine, I don't have many friends. One lonely day, I decided to rewatch the movie and something stuck out to me. Expectations. His parents, teachers, and peers all have expectations for Miles. He becomes frustrated with these expectations, which is presented visually when he spray paints no expectations with an outline of himself. For the rest of the film, Miles is trying to fit into Peter's shoes, trying desperately to fulfill the expectations of Spider-Man. He finally breaks out of this mold, becoming his own Spider-Man. He creates his own suit, spray painting it black and red. This visually represents him breaking the mold and creating his own. It's beautiful. Miles finally holds himself to his own standards, instead of the world's expectations. It was incredible, dare I say, inspiring. This theme is continued in the game Spider-Man Miles Morales. The game is about Miles finding his worth, his rhythm, and his identity. He tries to find a place in this world as a man, as a Spider-Man, and I think that's cool. He quickly realizes that he isn't like Peter, and he isn't better than Peter. That isn't to say that Miles is worse than Peter, rather, he's just different from Peter. He isn't the experienced Spider-Man that people are used to. He isn't as professional, he isn't as graceful, and he can't be greater than Peter. But he can be himself, and that's just perfect. The overarching message of Miles Morales is to simply be yourself. Don't be greater, rather, be yourself. I found that to be extremely powerful. We can all try to be greater, we can all try to be Spider-Man, but we'll all fail. We can always be ourselves, and maybe that's all we need. To me, Miles Morales is a symbol that it's okay to be yourself. You don't need to follow someone else's path. You can make your own legacy. That's a great message, especially to the children that will be looking up to the Spider-Man and learning that it's okay to be themselves. If you haven't caught on, the main theme explored with Miles is identity. In a world where Peter Spider-Man is beloved by most, Miles struggles with finding his place as Spider-Man. He attempts to be like Peter, but it doesn't work. He breaks out of his cocoon of being that other Spider-Man when he takes off a copy of Peter's mask and alters it to his own. Miles finally accepts that he's different than Peter, and that propels him into becoming a spectacular Spider-Man. We needed Miles Morales. Sure, we love Peter Parker, but we needed something unique. I think that's what they tried doing with Holland's Spider-Man, but it just didn't work, at least for me. And listen, I know not everyone will enjoy Miles Morales. I know that some people don't enjoy a change in pace, and I know that some people don't want Spider-Man to change, but I think most of us agree we needed a change of pace. We needed something new, fresh, spunky, and different. We finally got to see a new origin story that we haven't seen a million times. We finally got to see a Spider-Man that we haven't seen. We got to see a boy grow into a man, a boy grow into a Spider-Man, and we can grow with him. Miles Morales is the Spider-Man we need. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video essay. If you enjoyed and want more, you can find more content on my channel. If you're interested in shorter, unscripted movie reviews, you can find those on our Patreon. The support shown on these essays means a lot, so thank you for showing it. That's all, and have a bloody diabolical day.
Hey.